I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. My whole family was from Mississippi, and my parents met there. So I was born and raised, even went to the University of Memphis. And it's great because it was a big city, but all of my relatives had dairy farms. So summer camp for me was going to my uncle James Royce's dairy farm and baling hay and driving when you're like 11 years old, which is what you get to do in the country. I was kind of a daydreamer. So I think the first notion of something I would dream about doing was being a writer, but a fiction writer, because books were a big deal for me. I ended up in publishing after I got a graduate degree. Met my wife there. We quit our jobs, went backpacking, and ended up landing in Austin, Texas. We knew no one in Austin. We did not have jobs, and we just started over from New York City. And I applied to 3 jobs. One was at GSD&M to be a copywriter. One was to be a writer at a place that chased deadbeat dads. I can't remember the name of it. And I applied to be a newsletter writer here at KW. But it was maybe 2 years into my KW career, I found out that Gary was writing a book. There was a designer named Brad, had it up on his screen. It said, "No one succeeds alone." That book was a notion all the way back then. And I said, "Are you freelancing?" Because I just assumed I was doing books on the side and keeping my contacts alive. And he goes, "No, Dave and Gary are writing a book." Back then, there were only, 2 or 3 dozen employees at KW. So I ran into Gary later that day and I just said, "I hear you're writing a book. Do you remember I used to work at HarperCollins?" And that's what started, in my publishing career here. He clearly didn't remember, but he called me into his office, laid out a vision for writing 13 books, asked me what I thought of the idea of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. I asked him a few questions and told him I thought it might sell 50,000 copies. Of course, it went on to sell 1.5 million, so I was a little off there. But that conversation, he took me through the hiring process again, and we started writing together within a month of that day. I got my license, I want to say in 2006 or 2007 to get referrals, and it wasn't that hard. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Now I know how to compute the square feet of concrete in a driveway. I'll never use that again, but it was interesting. But that started a conversation with my wife. So we had started investing after we wrote The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. We had 2 kids in that period of time, and she was staying at home to be with them. She was also managing our rental properties, and she did a couple of flips. And I said, please get your real estate license. You're really good at this. I could tell from how much fun she had flipping the houses and doing all that work. I was like, you understand real estate at a high level. I think you'd be a great real estate agent. So that's how she started. She built her business really fast. And today she's in, the top 250 teams in the country. We were investors first and then real estate sales followed. I'm a French English major. Did not think finance or anything to do with it would be something that would be available to me. I would just get a job, earn a salary like my dad, and retire someday. But learning how to build wealth in this company was the thing that really kind of hit a nerve. So I chose to stay here and work. My wife chose to start that business, but we own, 11 businesses now. And I think it's mostly because of the mindset that happens not just in real estate, but in this building. We are very entrepreneurial and they encourage it.